Welcome to another video. My name is Sander and we are at 6 Mile Lake Provincial Park. In this video we'll show you everything you need to know about the campground and the surrounding area. So without further ado, let's go. 6 Mile Lake Provincial Park is conveniently located right next to Highway 400 and is within a 2-hour drive north of Toronto. So the registration of 6 Mile Lake is right when you enter it. We are here now and we have site 38, which is right there. So we just really have to follow the road and we can't miss it. This is our site. It's right next to 39, which is a very tiny site, but ours is 38. And the nice thing about 6 Mile Lake is from pretty much anywhere you can see the lake. It's pretty deep. It actually kind of has a driveway, if you will. The electrical is right there, so you don't have to go far. It's not necessarily waterfront, but you do overlook the lake and there is a little path. This is the second season with the kayaks on the roof and so far I'm liking it. The only thing that I don't like is the road noise. The nice thing about it is you have the box of the truck available for whatever you like to bring, and we typically like to bring our bikes. There's the fire pit there and the rest of the site. So overall it's not a bad site yet. We've seen some other very nice waterfront sites, but we'll take you along for the journey later. You enter the park here at the office. The first campground is Pine, all electrical. However, you can see the vicinity to the highway, so it's going to probably be pretty loud from a highway noise perspective. Next we have the store, which is where we are now. Here's the first comfort station with showers, volleyball court and the first beach, picnic shelter, dog beach. Then we head to Birch. It's again pretty close to the highway. As we get into Lakeview, you can see that we're further and further away from the highway, so less noise. Some of the waterfront sites are very nice. We are on site 38, which all the blue sites are electrical. From there, if we continue to go up, we go into Poplar, which is all non-electrical, Oak and Maple. From a trail and hiking perspective, there's 3 trails here, but they kind of blend together. So you have the David Milne, which is the blue one, Living Edge, which is orange one, and red, which is Mars. They're pretty short, 600 meters, 1.2 kilometers and 1.3. So when you do the trails, you have an opportunity to combine all of them. So from a beach perspective, there's one beach, the dog beach, beach number 2, which is also the day use beach, and then all the way up here is the Maple Beach, which is also dog free. So the only beach where dogs are allowed is this one here, and again, this is an off-leash beach, which is pretty unique to see. So this is the furthest beach from the entrance. This is the Maple Beach. This is also a dog free area. Now you do have some cottages there. So I'm here on the May 2-4 weekend and so far it's really not that loud. Over here is the boat launch. It's quite a large boat launch with multiple docks, so you can dock your boat afterwards. They do have a spot for learn to fish here, but it's closed now. This is the main beach and the day use area. Behind me, get a nice little playground for the kids. Did you know that 6 Mile Lake is named after the distance to Port Severn, not because of the size of the lake? It's exactly 6 miles from Port Severn. Careful when you're at 6 Mile Lake or any other provincial park, you may run into Canada's most dangerous animal, cobra chicken. Should you bring your bike to 6 Mile Lake Provincial Park? It really depends. There's no designated biking trails. However, it does make it easier to get around. 6 miles is a pretty long, skinny park, and as a result, there's always a little bit of walking involved. So if you prefer the bike, take it. However, if you do have kayaks, canoe, or stand-up paddleboard, I'd suggest bringing them over a bike. If you have room for both, obviously bring both. When it comes to cell phone service here at 6 Mile Lake, you do have service with Kudo, Bell, and Telus. You do get LTE, it may be a little bit spotty, definitely enough to check your email and Facebook, not enough to make Zoom calls. So if you're planning on working from 6 Mile Lake, probably not the best park for you. If you just occasionally want to check on Facebook, email, Instagram, TikTok, whatnot, it works fine. So here's where all the rentals are, so your kayaks, your canoes, your stand-up paddle boards. Right here is another beach, and this is also the pet beach, and arguably, you know, it has one of the better views of all of them. The nice thing about this particular beach is that pets are allowed off-leash here. which often a pet beach is a on-leash beach, but this one is off-leash. The water taps here do have the platform, so if you want to fill up a big water jug, you don't have to hold it up close to the tap. This is the Discovery Center / picnic area. Here you can learn about all the wildlife and trees and everything there is to know about 6 Mile Lake. Including the birds, salamanders, frogs and toads, snakes, fish, trees, insects, mammals of course, don't forget the bear. And even tells you about species at risk, such as the Algonquin wolf. There are 2 comfort stations with showers and laundry facilities here in 6 Mile Lake. The other are either flush toilets or vault toilets. So over here are your laundry and drying facilities and your showers. They also have a nice volleyball court, as you can see right behind me. So if you're into that, bring your volleyball. Here's the garbage and recycling. Now, Chippy says, and if Chippy says so, must be true, to deposit your garbage and recycling here. So please listen to Chippy and don't leave it scattered all over your site. This is the park store. So they really carry all your essentials here. Your souvenirs, your t-shirts, your patches, and also some groceries. You know, your milk, your eggs, your breads, your chips, and your firewood as well, and of course your ice. So it's actually a pretty nice store here. So this is the trailer sanitation station. Very basic trailer sanitation station. There's 1 dump spot for your black tank. And 2 water fill, 1 on each side, for your fresh water. Now at least the trailer sanitation station is wide enough so that if somebody's dumping, you can still get your water. Within 10 kilometers of the park, there's 2 waterfalls and 1 lock, so let's go check it out. So we made it to Waterfalls. You can't really miss it. Parking is right after the bridge. About 9 kilometers from the campground is Big Chute. This is where there is a dam and where they transport boats from the one side of the lake to the other side of the lake. So let's go check it out. So this is what they used to use for boats. They put this in the water, put your boat on and take it down the track to the other side of the lake. So as you can see now, there's one in progress. It will be crossing the road right in front of us. So as you can see, the boat is unloaded and as a result the train comes back up. So you start in the water, you go up all the way up here, then down back into the lake. So that was a pretty cool experience. It's only about 10 minutes from the park, so if you are at 6 Mile Lake, stop here for a visit. It's pretty cool. So there's a famous fish and chips place in the area, Mrs. H Fish and Chips, so we're just gonna check it out. It's very busy here, so we actually have to park on the other side of the street, so hopefully that's a good sign that the food is excellent. So that's the fish and chip, it's the family meal. So we just finished the meal. It was alright, it wasn't the greatest, but the wait time was long, and as a result it's still a 20-minute drive from 6 Mile Lake, so the food was a little bit cold, but the fish was definitely delicious, so there's that. The nice thing about this site, it is a water view site. There's a little trail from site 38 to the water, so we're gonna take the kayaks down and just leave them there, and that way we don't have to drive anywhere or keep carrying the kayaks up and down. Now the kayaks are down here. All we need to do is put them in the water and we can lock them up here by the tree so we don't have to carry them up and down, which is a pretty cool feature of site 38. So that looked like a great idea to enter the water that way. The reality turned out it wasn't that great. So about half the kayak was full of water. Luckily this kayak has a drain plug and we're finally back onto the lake. So this is a trail system here. This is one of the 3 trails, and they just connect to each other. So you can do all 3 trails at once. So it's a nice little trail by the water. The only thing is you are close to the 400, so as you can probably hear in the background, that's the 400 right there. The trail itself is pretty rocky, lots of tree roots, so don't bring a stroller because you're not going to be able to use it. So lots of granite from the Canadian Shield on this trail. And it's very muddy. Let's talk about 6 Mile Lake. So 6 Mile Lake is a nice smaller park. There's a total of 6 campgrounds. There's not too many hydro sites, so if you're looking for a hydro site, it's something to keep in mind. They do have a nice facility. They have multiple beaches, including a dog off-leash beach, which is pretty unique for a provincial park because most of them are on leash. There's a nice little store. I bought this hat from the store, so that's nice. There's a volleyball court. It is close to the 400, so depending on where you are in the area, you may get a lot of highway noise. If you have a kayak, canoe or stand-up paddleboard, 100% would recommend it. It's a very nice lake, 6 Mile Lake, very large lake, but the drawback is there are cottages, so there's a lot of boats around, so just be careful. If you don't have one, don't worry, there's a rental place on site here where you can rent your kayaks, canoes and stand-up paddleboards. There are 3 hiking trails. They all connect together, so you can do all 3 in one shot. They're nice trails, definitely not the easiest trails. There's lots of roots and rocks to climb. There are 2 comfort stations with showers and laundry facilities, which is pretty cool. So if you need to do laundry, you can certainly do it here. In the nearby vicinity, definitely recommend going to the Waterfall, White's Falls, it's just down the road. And Big Chute. So Big Chute is a marine railway, which is actually pretty cool to see a boat on a train going down the hill into the water. So within 10 minutes from the park, definitely. The other nice thing about the park is there's actually a playground for the kids. Now, not a lot of provincial parks have it, but 6 Mile definitely does. To summarize, 6 Mile Lake is a very nice park for families with a playground, lots of beaches, volleyball court, and it's very close to the 400. So if you're traveling and you just need to, fit in a stop, certainly if you go up north between GTA and up north, stay a couple days at 6 Mile Lake, you won't regret it. This was our first time at the park here. We enjoyed it here. Definitely would stay in the Lakeview area to avoid the highway noise from the 400. But overall, we'll definitely be back. And while you're at it, why don't you check out our top 10 best provincial parks to be visited last year in season 2 of our camping adventures right here.